They were the favourites to go down the year they come up, and they win the title, which is extraordinary. And what happens is the year they go up to get promoted, Peter Taylor joins him from Brighton because
Right.
Clough famously leaves Brighton to go to Leeds. He has the infamous 44 days at Leeds. Yeah,
I think that's right.
which has become a film we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Damned United. And then he's kind of languishing, really. What happens in Leeds is something very interesting. His son talks about this. They pay him off, and he has financial security for the first time in his life. They pay him a few £100,000, I believe.
To go away?
Yeah, it's in the and they give him the Mercedes, the car. So he actually has a moment where he can go, right, okay, let me see where I am. But you've got to remember, a lot of people were saying he's a busted flush at this point. He'd gone to Brighton, hadn't pulled up any trees there.
Yep.
Really struggled at Leeds. He was seen as, sort of a motor mouth after Derby. So, there was this thing and it took him a while to get going. Peter Taylor came sort of 18 months later, but his recruitment was already starting to be very clever.
That's the trick. You'd have found this as you went along, and we've kind of touched it already in terms of the range of characters. Basically, it's the Magnificent Seven Samurai of this kind of strange, quirky bunch of individuals who then suddenly knit into a perfect unit.
Yeah.
The tracking down of them in you telling the story, is that as amazing as it sounds like it should be?
Yeah, it is. I think what they got, what I call prime Brian Clough. They inherited him. I think he was 40, maybe 41, 42, absolutely top of his game. The later Brian Clough, as we know, had his problems with with alcoholism and all, well documented. But at this point, he is absolutely sort of razor sharp. So they've got this fella who has distilled all his knowledge. He's been to Hartlepool as they were then. He'd done a great job there. He won a title with Derby, and he'd learned to sort of, I think, to become a little bit more sort of like politically aware after Leeds, instead of telling people to throw their medals in the bucket.